Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be talking again about SPAQ. I'm going to go through technical analysis, news, and what I think about this company all throughout together. When I'm going through technical analysis, if you're having any problems going through the technical indicators, you find a playlist in the description below that explains each of them and what they mean. Now, this is an update to my previous DD, so you'll find my previous DD in the description as well if you would like to watch it after this one, and I do recommend that you do. Let's jump right into it. So what we get to see here on a 1 week perspective is that the MACD here looks like it's actually going back down, and that's a little bit of a dangerous sign for me here especially. What we get to see here is decrease in volume. I'm not talking really just about this week, but also in terms of last week. It looks like it still has that kind of decrease in volume, and that looks a little bit dangerous from my side. Now, in terms of moment, it looks like it actually dipped quite hard, but that was due to last week rather than this week. It looks like it's actually recovering a little from this week on the million% scale. Now, it's not sitting oversold in this period, it's sitting more around neutral, but the ADX is still sitting in above 50. So above 50 is where I usually indicate that a trend is likely to see a reversal, for instance, and in this case it might be a negative reversal. Unbalanced volume looks still steady and looks nice. It looks like there has been recovery from the week of 20th of September today. 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA mark, and that is amazing. It's above the 50 SMA point, so that is as well still bullish on the moving averages, and it's above there. Now, if we were to look into a 1-day perspective, just for a closer kind of assessment, what we get to see here is the MACD gone negative around the 23rd of September with a massive drop, and it's actually currently attempting to see a reversal. So it looks like the bottom has hit around 28th of September, going back to the same level on the MACD histogram on the 25th of September, and we might actually see a curve back down. I would say, so it's 30, I'd probably say it's probably going to take until end of this week or early next week. Volume looks still steady, unbalanced volume looks like it's recovering, ADX looks like there is a possibility of a trend forming, but it kind of still falling from where it was on the 1824 ADX. We get to see on the million% R, what's happening here is that the stock is oversold at the current level. It's the second day it's sitting at oversold. Moving averages here are what's interesting me a bit more than the other indicators here. We get to see 10 SMA, that's the green line, is above the red line. So 10 SMA is above 30 EMA, and the stock price is above 50 SMA, and it's above 200 SMA. So altogether bullish. However, it's still touching the bottom of the trading action zone. So you get to see the 10 SMA to 30 EMA. In between there, that's called the trading action zone. That's where reversals are likely, and so what we want to see is that it doesn't break the red line, which is sitting at 1442, and we would like to see it trading in within, so it attempts to see that positive reversal upwards. Now, this is the third day where it kind of still saw green, so we might actually get a bearish kicker tomorrow. If we do, that is a very bearish sign, and usually it tends to fall a little bit below. Now, taking a quick look into a 1 hour perspective, and this is just merely for the next few hours, so literally if you're trading it for tomorrow or whatnot, sometimes it does give us an indication with a golden star for a small jump or a small dip, but just again, this is just for a 1 hour perspective, just for your convenience. What we get to see here is that the ADX looks like there is a trend forming here. Million% R sits, I would say, somewhere around overbought, a little bit overbought during the day and around for an hour or so, and then dip down to oversold. Momentum here looks like it's actually steady, and the MACD looks at sideways. Now, on the moving averages, what we get to see here was a Death Star a while ago, but it looks like it's actually attempting to go through a bullish moving averages. Now, it's at a very sensitive place where it can either go either ways, just because the moving averages 10 SMA, 30 SMA, and 50 SMA are really just very close to touching one another. Now let's jump to moving averages, and what we get to see on the moving average band is that the stock is expected to trade on the bottom of the band around 1363, in the middle around 1499, and on the top of the band around 1649. And we get to see it's actually trading in within the lower part of the band, and so we do expect that it does jump a little bit towards the middle line, which is the 1499, and then perhaps either jump onto the top bands and starts trading in the top band, or go back towards the bottom part of the band. Now let's take a quick look into the charts. What we get to see here, this is the exact same channel that we actually drew last time. We get to see it's still trading within the bottom part of the channel. Now 1250 is the bottom currently, the middle is around 1550, and 1855 is at the top. Now in my last DD as well, I did mention that something interesting here is happening, because it does look like it's almost a channel within a channel. So if we were to draw something like this here, we get to see it perhaps is trading on the upper half of the bottom channel. And so we do expect as well for it to hit 1555 just based on this, just because what we're actually getting to see here is the middle line for it, and it's actually trading in the top half of the bottom channel. Now if we were to look into Fibonacci retracements and significant supports and resistances, what we get to see here, so from the 2160 down to the 1015, is that we're actually seeing significant resistance currently at the 454, and it attempted it and it seemed like it actually failed. Hopefully it does attempt it again sometime in the next few days. Now let's take a quick look into supports and resistances here. What we get to see right off the bat, we're sitting currently at a support at the 1443 mark, and we get to see that is clear. And we get to see below that there's a $14 mark support, that is as well a strong one there. And then below that we get to see 1373, below that 1333, and then below that we get to see as well $13, and then down to 1250. Now if we were looking into resistances, what we get to see is 1466 seems to be a resistance here, and then above that we're looking at 1480, 1482, and then we're seeing at 1519 here, and then right off, one of the significant resistances that I see are is right here, 1554. Now taking a quick look into the latest news, and starting here, what we get to see right off the bat, I just want to start with the Morningstar report. I did get a hand of this one here, and we get to see that it's actually trading 1.0 onto the price over fair value, and this basically tells you that this probably is at least the bottom for this one here, and it looks like it's stabilizing. The fair value based on them is 1465, and it's just below there around 1430, so that's expected with this report, and it starts to getting overvalued, I believe, somewhere let's say around the $15 mark. Now let's take a look into institutional buyers. We get to see on the 14th, that is the last transaction that we had, and it did talk about it last time, so it wasn't much of significance. This PR is right off fresh. It says Bill is the president of and the CEO of ServiceNow, and he's coming in from Frisker, and we get to see that he's the board. He has been appointed on the board of directors, head of the completion merger with the Apollo affiliated SPAQ. And so the main thing here that I'm looking at is right around the time frame that they mentioned about the merger, and it says that the merger will be completed later on this year. So taking a quick look as well, we don't see much of information added onto here, but mainly it just lists the CEOs and the board of directors that will be moving towards where the merger is. So that is exciting for us to get as well a confirmation again that merger is on the way and it's coming in towards the end of the year. All right, so let's take a quick look into what I think about the stock and the movements that it's probably going to be following it. Now it is trading within the channel, as I did say. It has a potential to still jump at least to 1550, which is a really strong resistance there. But if we do see a bearish kicker where it does start to see a little bit of a drop, it also depends on the market situation. Usually if we get a green Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday would be red. That is some stuff to keep in mind. But I do see this one here to still have a strong potential when it comes into the price point action. I mean, in the last video I did mention around the first red candle here in the base where it would probably see still a jump. And I feel that this still has a little bit more juice, but it still has risk in it. So another thing that I did discuss about in my last video is that they don't have current revenue that is mentioning out. Now, what do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention it down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day.